I'm gonna need one of you boys to punch me or pinch me or something because I
I
think
got it.
I think I'm dreaming. You gonna punch me or pinch me?
I'll do both.
Damn, this is
Mm.
beef. What the fuck?
Head or gut. Head or gut.
Anywhere. I just need to know I'm not dreaming because I know there ain't no way that I was hyped for 2 movies in 2025 and I wasn't disappointed. There's just no chance.
It's real.
I don't know if it is. We might be back actually. I don't
We're
know.
back.
We could be. The Earth might be healing herself.
What the hell are we supposed to use, man? Harsh language?
How was your guys this week?
It was cool. I
Yeah.
watched a lot of stuff.
I know. Me too. I alluded to it. I'll get to that in a bit. But welcome back, Dusty. How was your week?
Yeah, that's good.
Nice. Welcome back, folks. This is episode 131.
Let's go.
We're talking about Drop today. A movie that I didn't even really remember, but ended up maybe surprising me a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but we'll find out later. Talk about that movie. We got a lot on the docket today. A lot of shit's going on in entertainment. I saw a double feature this week. First time in a really long time. I can't remember, Dusty, did you end up watching Kevin Smith's last movie, the 4:30 movie?
No, I have not watched that yet.
I think I told you. It's like a little autobiography kind of him growing up and like
Yeah.
spending time at the local movie theater. And I used to do the same thing when I was a kid. You just go to the movie theater all day. And I haven't done it in a really long time. There's a movie theater like literally within walking distance of my house. And I said to my buddies just the other day, I was like, yo, you want to just like see 2 movies on Sunday? Like we'll just hang out all day. And they were like, yeah, all right. And it was like really fun.
Nice.
I just remember doing it. But we saw Thunderbolts and then Sinners. And man, I must be dreaming because I think Marvel might be back. I'm not 100% sure, but they
Can't say
might
it with
be
one.
back.
You can't say it with one.
Well, here's why. Dusty, you said you watched it. I'm not gonna give spoilers away because we might actually watch it for the podcast. I don't know, but you said you saw
I haven't
it.
seen it yet, so don't spoil it for
No,
me.
no, no. I'm not gonna say spoilers, but it's
Yes.
it's
I
definitely
haven't seen it.
it's a top 10 Marvel movie for sure, in my opinion. What do you think, Dusty?
That's crazy.
No, really, I'm being serious. I can't get over
No,
how clear you look with this new lens. You
I would
literally
have
look fake.
to. Yeah, you could. It's up there. It's really good.
Yeah. I think it's a top 10 Marvel movie for sure. And it did all the things that we have been begging Marvel to do. You're right about Kevin Feige listening to the podcast. So
I called it.
shout out to Feige. You're out there listening. You're one of our 741 subscribers.
Feige's listening. Ryan Aries stole my fucking lingo like a year ago. Don't forget. I didn't
Yeah.
forget.
Yeah, a lot
When
of
we
people.
blow up, I'm fucking.
We're,
He better not ever come on the show. I'm fucking roasting his ass. No, I'm just kidding.
we're handing out lawsuits left and right. No, they did the thing that we've been wanting them to do, which is just like take it back a notch. Not everything has to be this like
Epic.
universal ending
Yeah.
catastrophe. This could have been a universal ending catastrophe for sure, but they didn't handle it
Because of
that
the
way.
villain or whatever.
Yeah,
There's a big villain, right? Big guy.
it's Sentry / the Void, who is just
Oh
probably
yeah.
literally the most powerful being in the Marvel universe, or one of. That's why I made the joke. I said Ed and I were like, "How are they going to beat this fucking dude?"
Right.
And so that played
Yeah.
into
I
it.
mean,
But it was just it was a very small story, and it was a very personal story. I think it was about it's about mental health. And I thought it was just a really interesting.
Oh, here you come with the woke bullshit. man.
I thought it was just a really good way to like frame a story about these characters who are not heroes. They're flawed people in the MCU, and they I think they just handled it well. It was just a really good movie. I really enjoyed it. It's a step in the right direction. And I don't know if you got this impression, Dusty, but it seems like they're treating this as sort of like a reboot of the universe a little bit.
yeah, sure, a little bit. I could see that. And I thought it was really good too. I would put it at the bottom of the top 10, or maybe just outside of it. I thought it was really good, and like you said, small story. It was a little bit predictable as far as where it was going to go.
Yeah.
But it was still a fun ride, even though it was predictable. So
Yeah.
it's not going to stick with me like some of those other that you would put in the top 10, but definitely going to be a fun rewatch. And it's a very good movie. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. You have it set up for your news later, so I won't bring it up now. But based on what you have a piece of news about what Kevin Feige's been talking about recently, that in co-op with what this movie kind of felt like, I think this leading into Doomsday is certainly like a hey, let's reset. And I don't mean reset necessarily like recasting older characters and stuff like that. That might come eventually, like you speculate, but I don't think that's yet. I think they still have a lot of other big characters to deal with first. But it just seems like a reset of the mindset. They even redid the intro logo, Marvin. You know, the intro animation where it's like reels of the first.
Oh, they changed that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it used to be the reels of the different movies up until Endgame. Now it's just back to the original comic book panel style. And I think that's because now for the first, they have everybody under one roof, all their properties. It's not like
most.
Yeah, most.
They still don't have the Hulk and Spider-Man.
Those are the only two, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Thunderbolts was fantastic. I really, really liked it. I think it's funny. There's a funny meme going around that like any movie that Bucky is in just overperforms and does really, really well. And he was great.
Sebastian Stan's a guy.
Yeah, he really is charismatic. I love him a lot. But yeah, definitely a good movie. Really, really enjoyed it. But we got to talk about Sinners. And again, I'm not going to spoil anything. I can't wait for you guys to watch Sinners. We have to talk about it on the show. I am dead serious. It's one of the best movies I think ever made. Like, no shit, all-timer. It's one of the best movies I've ever seen, at least. If it doesn't win Best Picture, I know that doesn't matter, but if it doesn't win Best Picture this year, it's like end the world, end everything. It's a complete and utter disgrace if this movie doesn't win Best Picture. Like, I'm completely blown away by it. Honestly, a movie hasn't like stuck with me this much in a really, really long time. Have you watched it, Dusty?
No, I have not seen it yet. Okay. I'm supposed to go watch a matinee this week with the lady. So hopefully we'll get to see it in a matinee tomorrow, the next day, maybe Friday. I don't know.
I want to try to go this week too.
Honestly, it's like we all thought it looked good just from the trailer. I'll tell you this, it's not the movie that you think it is, and it's way better than everybody's saying it is. Like it's getting a lot of hype, but it's just so much better than that. Oh my god, I can't believe it. I can't believe how good it is.
Let you down.
Oh no, no. I can't believe how good it is. Like
that's sick.
It's literally in my top 10 movies of all time. Like instantly. I walked out of the movie. I was like
impressive.
Speechless.
Yeah.
I was crying. I was shitting, puking. It was great. Like I want to talk more about it, but I won't say anything. I'll just leave it at that. Very good movie. Everybody in it was great. Ryan Coogler's the fucking GOAT.
He is.
Yeah. That's it. Okay. It's about a lot of things, really. It's not just what I said. It's not what you think it is. It's like a very, very, very multi-layered movie.
Yeah. We were sitting around last night talking about it, and Christina hadn't heard about it at all. And so she was like, "What?" I was like, "We need to go see Sinners this week." She's like, "What's it about?" And just said one word. I was like, "It's a vampire movie." Okay.
She hasn't heard about it. That's impressive.
Yeah, she's not in that realm of social media or anything like that.
Fair.
So,
do you know more about it, Dusty, than you're letting on, or?
I actually don't, because I have not really watched all the trailers or teasers. I've tried to.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where I try to like stay away from as much as possible until I see it.
Okay, yeah. I'll save it then. I won't say.
I've been doing pretty good. Yeah.
I'll let you guys.
We'll save it since we're gonna review it. Yeah, let's just save it.
I hope. If you guys, no rush to go out and see it, but I want to definitely talk about it. I can't wait for you guys to see it. Like, yeah, it's fucking unbelievable. But I'll leave it there. I want to go see it again. Nick didn't get the. I went with my buddy George to the double feature because Nick did a staycation in Manhattan with his wife for their anniversary. It's their 10-year anniversary.
Oh, that's nice.
So they did some stuff in and around the city over the weekend, so he couldn't come, but he had wanted to see the movie, and I messaged him today. I was like, yeah, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. I'll 100% go see it again.
Yeah.
Nice.
What did you watch this weekend, Marvin? Or this week? You've been binging fucking the studio, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm already caught up on the studio.
Isn't it so great?
it's one of the best shows.
Dusty and I were
good.
not overhyping it.
No, not at all. That show is so good.
How good was
Certainly worth the watch.
How good was the Chinatown episode?
That was so funny.
And
That wasn't my favorite. I feel like The Oner was my favorite episode.
The Oner was really good.
That was a good one.
I think the last episode was my favorite. Did you catch up, Dusty? I asked you a couple
The
days
last
ago.
one was really good too.
Yeah, I'm caught up.
The
Yeah.
way they because it's funny because, you know, from the fan perspective or the viewer perspective, when companies do woke shit,
Oh my god, it was
you think it's pandering or some dumb shit, but it really is they really highlighted how it snowballs into becoming woke when it's really not intended to be most of the time, probably.
Yeah.
The shit with Ice Cube was so fucking funny. I was cracking up.
Yeah. They made a whole deal about the whole woke thing, and the real error was the AI, the guy using the AI to replace the artist.
Yeah, 'cause
that's what everyone actually freaked out about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just love the whole first the realization of wait, is it racist to cast a black guy as the Kool-Aid man? Is that?
The progression was so funny.
And then it's it just turns into an
It's
all
you're hurting
black
black
cast.
women because
Yeah.
the wife was a Korean woman.
Uh-huh.
It's what, a black woman isn't good enough to be married
Right.
to the Kool-Aid man?
And then it's just an all black cast where then it actually is racist because now it's a stereotype.
Literally all black. Yeah,
So
that shit
fun.
was so funny.
It was so funny. I love that show so much.
So The Wonder was good. I also liked the episode. Was it the Chinatown episode? No, I don't think it was, when he went on the date with the
no, that
the
was
doctor.
that was the one.
I think it was episode 6.
Yeah, that was the one before the woke episode.
That was also
that
one
was
of my
where
favorites.
the EPs were fighting over
Yeah.
trying to get their movie made or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I love how there's so many good cameos in this show too, like Nicholas Stoller and fucking.
Dude, it's insane
a
that
bunch
they
of
get.
directors and actors. Yeah.
It's really insane that they get those people, like the directors.
I think Seth Rogen just has a lot of
Yeah.
Well, all of them have a
Cred.
lot of contacts. They all have pretty good Rolodexes that they can flip through.
Yeah.
And it's probably,
phone
I was
calls.
thinking it's probably fun for directors to do these little parts. Even from the first episode with fucking
Ron.
Ron Howard
not Ron Howard.
was in the
Jesus.
first episode.
Oh yeah, old
Scorsese.
dude.
Scorsese.
Yeah,
Oh, Scorsese,
Scorsese.
Dude,
That
that
shit
was
was
so
hilarious.
funny when he was trying to, it was the first Kool-Aid when
Yeah.
it first got brought up because Breaking Bad guy.
Yep.
forgot his
Bryan
name.
Cranston.
He's like, I bought the rights to Kool-Aid, man,
Yeah.
and I want you to do this. We're gonna do $1 billion franchise or whatever. And he's like, he goes to the bar or whatever with, I forgot who that guy was, but he was saying how he wanted these crazy. He wanted Wes Anderson to do the Kool-Aid movie, and I was just cracking up.
Yeah.
You want all these.
Well, he's because he's the art. He's the artsy guy. He loves
Yeah.
film,
Yeah.
But
But
what-
he's just been not that the entire time because of the job.
yeah, he can't. And it's funny because the meta aspect of the show, I was telling you, each episode incorporates
Yeah.
the thing that the episode's about. And the Scorsese one specifically was kind of a nod at Scorsese's struggles to get his movies financed nowadays.
Yeah.
He has to go to streamers and stuff to do it.
Yeah.
So poor Scorsese. But it's funny
It's
that
so
he's
funny.
part of the,
That
he was
was a
willing to be
funny
part of the joke. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a hilarious script. It's fucking
And I
the
think
Kool-Aid man, or the Kool-Aid rights, and then they do Jonestown.
oh yeah, yeah.
That was hilarious.
The funny part though was
Good segue.
of the show, I think Seth Rogen, I think he has a lot of social authority or credibility, but guys like Scorsese, I feel that's more of a case of he was in a Scorsese movie, he was in The Fabelmans. I'm sorry, that's not a Scorsese movie. Never mind. I take back exactly what I was
That's
saying.
yeah.
Yeah. But I was saying, in the case of Scorsese, I wouldn't be surprised if Spielberg shows up in this show at some point, but
That would be sick, yeah.
I think a large part of it is him just taking shots in the dark and being I wonder if I can get this guy on there. You know what I mean? Let me call Scorsese up and just see.
Yeah. Well, we've got some news about that too.
Yeah, I saw that you got a piece of news there. What else did you watch? Anything else? Andor,
I'm caught
sure?
up on I'm caught up on Andor. I tweeted from our account.
Yep.
So check out the Twitter.
Check it out.
I said that Andor is gonna end up being top 5
Damn.
after this season. I strongly believe that.
Breaking
Andor is
Bad,
such a
Better
good
Call
show.
Saul, The Wire, Sopranos, and Andor. Is that what you're
Might
saying?
be.
Damn.
Pretty
Might
good.
be. I don't know.
All right.
Pretty good.
I have not. I haven't watched it yet. Have you? You're caught up, Dusty?
Yeah. Oh well, I'm caught up to yes. And I, like I was saying in chat, I want to stop watching it because I
Yeah,
actually
you were
wanted
talking
to
about that.
binge season 1 before as a primer to when this started, but I
fresh.
didn't have time.
Right.
And now that I'm watching it and I'm into it, I'm like, man, I
This-
really just
yeah.
want to binge season 1, season 2, Rogue One, like all in one. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to keep watching it. So
It may be better to
Torn.
like do like a rewatch in like a year or so,
Yeah.
you know, where you give it some
Probably.
time to cook and then you come back like, damn, this shit was so fucking good, you know?
I
Like,
haven't watched
I just
it
watched
yet.
like, you know, like you see a random little, I saw like a slither of something related to The Wire and I was like, well, guess it's time to rewatch The Wire. It's just
Yeah.
like any little thing I see of a really good show just reminds me of how good the show is. And I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to rewatch this.
Yeah, I didn't anticipate how daunting it would be for three episodes.
Three
It's
per
tough.
episodes
week.
at a time.
Yeah,
It is tough, but it's so easy because the show is so good.
right. I haven't watched Last of Us either. You guys on that or?
Oh man, it's good. Yeah.
I don't think I'm caught up on Last of Us. No.
Yeah.
Might be an episode behind.
I got work to do on those.
I also finished season 2 of X-Files.
Oh shit!
I
Damn.
finished
yeah.
that three split. That was like the best 3 episodes of X-Files so far.
You're
that
doing
whole story
work.
with the Anasazi or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was sick little mini series there. And then I was like, I want to watch something else because it's like when you finish an episode of X-Files, it's kind of like, I'm going to just let it sit for a little bit.
Yep.
Especially when you get through something like this 3-series split where it's like all main story.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not that the other episodes aren't main story, but they're kind of like fillerish.
No,
you know what I mean?
you're
Like,
talking about the Monster of the Week episodes versus the mythology episodes.
yeah. Like it's hard to get through.
Don't ever call them
those.
filler again. By the way, just
They're kind of fillerish.
No.
Like,
Put some
they're
respect-
like diet
put
filler.
some respect
Freak
on
of
it,
the
Marvin.
Week.
There's a
Freak
whole
of the
group
Week.
of the fandom that loves those episodes more. I'm one of them. So
I don't see how that's possible. I
You'll
mean,
see.
I enjoy them. I
Marvin?
enjoy them, but that main story is so fucking good that it's like,
it is. No, you're right.
it's
But
insane.
listen, wait till you get
Yeah.
to. I can't remember the name of it. Hang on.
Dan thinks websites like Skippable are blasphemy because they have you skip all the Freak of the Week stuff and just watch the main storyline.
Wait until you get to season 3, Clyde Bruckman's final repose. It's
Mhm.
literally the best episode of the entire series.
Okay.
Do you know this?
Hey, no, I believe you. And I can see that one of those episodes can be the best.
A
I'm
lot
just
of them
speaking
are.
like overall,
All right, that's fair.
just the continuation. It's
I'll tell you this: the earlier seasons deal with the mythology more. They hadn't
Mm.
gotten to like the whole like the I guess they hadn't gotten the pace down yet. Where like
sure.
now you're going to start to see where it's like every couple of episodes there's a little mythology thrown in, but it
that's big.
starts
I
to
like
get
that.
stretched very thin. Do you remember this episode, Dusty? You started laughing like the second I pulled it up.
No, I
Oh.
don't know. It did. No, it sounds familiar, the title, but it's not.
It's the one with the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of really good Monster of the Week episodes.
Ray Romano.
Well, Ray's dad in that show. The old guy, the bald guy.
Yeah.
What's his name? This guy.
Was that Stiller?
No.
Wait, hold on. I can't.
Peter Boyle.
Oh, Boyle. Yeah.
My girl Scully.
Why did I think it was Ben Stiller's dad who played the part? I don't know.
You were thinking of Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he plays his dad in some other stuff too.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're liking the X-Files, Marvin.
Yes.
Great show.
I'm also caught up on Handmaid's Tale.
Damn. It's
Pretty
amazing how
good.
much fucking shit you get done when you're not playing video games, right?
Yeah, it's actually crazy. Yeah.
After
I think
76.
that's
Mm.
about all I watched.
All right.
Um,
How about you, Dusty?
I'm not watching too much right now. I was watching Mobland. I'm behind on that actually. So besides the other shows, the studio and Andor, not really. I'm watching Dexter. I'm actually rewatching Dexter right now. Like when I'm doing stuff around the house, I'll throw that on in the background because it's good. Because I've already seen it and I don't have to focus on it and I'm doing other things.
Yeah, I love
Like it's
Dexter.
just I have it on. Because I recently finally watched I'd watched the one post where his son shows up. Spoiler alert. But there's a
New
prequel that
Blood
just
or
came
whatever?
out where there's a prequel that came out called I forget what that one's called too. That one might be New
Yeah.
Blood, where he's a kid and Christian Slater plays his dad. I just watched that, so
Yeah.
it was good. I think they're gonna make a season 2 for that. So
Yeah, I saw something about is there like a remake or something happened? It's like there was some new Dexter show coming out too, right?
yes, well, I mean, so they made the Dexter where he went away and his son showed up, and I don't know if they're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
continue
New
that
Blood.
story.
I
think
saw that one. That was terrible.
Yeah, I think that one got canceled. And then there's the new
Yeah,
one
it
where it's Christian Slater playing Dexter's dad, and Dexter Michael
Original
C. Hall
Sin,
is
right?
Michael C. Hall is narrating as Dexter, but it's a kid, so it's a different person
Okay.
playing Dexter. And
And
I
there's
watched that, and that was
another
pretty
one.
good, and that's what got me into
There's another one coming out too called Dexter Resurrection, which is going to be Michael C. Hall again.
Yeah. After his son
How many
takes
fucking
off or
Dexter
whatever.
spinoffs are there? The
I
hell?
don't know. They can't. I really love Dexter.
I mean, this is like The Walking Dead, though. I mean, how many shows and spinoffs and movies
I never watched
like
it.
that? It's
How could it
You
be
never
so
watched
deep?
Dexter?
No, I thought it was just about a serial killer who kills killers, basically.
Yeah.
he kills. Yeah,
Hmm.
he's also a
But he's
police
also
officer.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn.
He does. He works in CSI basically.
You know, we were just talking about
So sometimes
X-Files.
he's hunting himself. It gets pretty interesting.
Yeah.
He's a serial killer, so he's a narcissist, and he's trying to balance, being an everyday normal guy that people can relate with, and a serial killer, and a cop hunting killers. Like it's actually a pretty interesting show.
No, yeah,
good.
the premise seems cool. We were just talking about X-Files, and I forgot to mention we talked about Ryan Coogler doing his X-Files reboot.
Oh yeah. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he got the green light from Gillian Anderson, Scully herself. Said she spoke to him, and she said, "If anyone were to do it, I think you are a perfect person, and best of luck. Call me."
Wow.
So I don't know, though, if it's been discussed or talked about whether or not it's about Mulder and Scully. I remember there being some online I guess jokes, or that it was going to be like Black Mulder and Scully or something stupid, but or they were going to gender
I would
swap
imagine.
them.
I don't think it'd be a remake. I think they would let them be retired and create a new cast of characters who are trying to pick up where they left off. Is what
That's what I thought. Because for one, I don't think you could have. I don't know if it'll work. I like Ryan Coogler. I was just.
But if you're
going to
reboot it, yeah, if you're going to reboot it and bring on a Sculler and Sculler and Moldy,
Sculler and Moldy.
If you're going to bring them on, I mean, you might,
Well, the
I
question
don't care
is,
if they change them. But.
can you have X-Files without Mulder and Scully? Now, sort of spoilers, Marvin. There are several seasons later in the X-Files that do not feature Mulder and Scully as the main cast, and those were wildly unsuccessful. Well, they weren't unsuccessful. I won't say that, but they weren't as popular as when Mulder and Scully were around. However, it's been a really long time, so we're so far removed from it that maybe you can make it work with a different cast of characters. And then I also argue, can you have the X-Files without Chris Carter? Because Chris Carter is the genius behind the X-Files. I do think Ryan Coogler is great, but this is an interesting project to keep an eye on. I'm very curious to see where it goes and how it goes, as it being probably my favorite show of all time.
I trust Ryan Coogler. I feel like he can get it done.
I watched one other thing this week, little random. Sometimes I'm, at night when I'm done working or whatever, I'm like, I'm gonna throw on a movie. I try to watch something I haven't watched ever. And I watched this little indie rom-com, I guess, drama with John Heder, Napoleon Dynamite. It was really, really good, surprisingly, and really sweet. It's called Plan B. Something Dusty might have come across at some point. Have you watched
Was
it?
that a show? Is that a show or a movie?
It's a movie.
Because there was a show called Plan B where somebody was living with the person that was trying to give them an organ transplant or something.
No, not that.
So yeah, I don't know.
This is it's a movie. It was written by the comedian from. She was in that show Crashing. I don't know if you remember that show. Jamie Lee is her name. Like, this is a real indie, low budget, like borderline not good movie, but it was fantastic. I thought it was great. Basically, they're neighbors. They live in like a co-op or like a little apartment complex, and she has sex with him one night drunk, gets pregnant. And she doesn't like him because he's like a nerd, loser guy who lives next door and da-da-da-da-da. So she tries to meet a rich guy out at like a bar, have sex with him, and then pretend that he got her pregnant so that like he could be the father of the baby instead of John Heder. And that's basically the setup for the movie. So it's like a stupid premise, but like it's actually a really sweet movie. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So I thought
I love those golden finds. I told you guys that Green and Gold movie is amazing.
Not to drop any spoilers. I think we had a golden find today. I'm being honest with you. We'll see. I feel like you guys probably hated it. I don't know. I think Dusty definitely hated it. But I can't. We'll see. But this one actually. So I had a moment where I cried in this movie for no fucking reason. It was ridiculous. Most ridiculous thing I've ever cried at. There's a character in the movie. It's the rich guy she's trying to like screw over or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not put my finger on who he was. I like recognized him. I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
I know another Michael Lombardi, but I don't know this one.
Finally, I looked him up, and it was Proby from Rescue Me. Do you remember Rescue Me, Dusty?
Yes.
Yeah. It was Proby It was Proby from Rescue Me, and I literally had the realization, and I started crying a little bit because that was one of my favorite shows back in the day. It ran from 2004 to 2011. Such a good show. And like, I don't know, I just got hit with this like nostalgia type of thing of like, oh man, remember that guy? Yeah, so that was good. Marvin, this is to be the next show you should watch, Rescue Me. Shit was so good.
There's no fucking way.
What do you mean?
What is this?
It's a great show. It used to be on FX. It's about a firefighter who lost like a bunch of people in 9/11, and like he has.
Oh, okay.
That's
FX put out some heaters back in the day.
They did.
Honestly, the next show I'm watching, I've already watched 2 episodes, is Righteous Gemstones.
Oh yeah, you got to watch that. I was just gonna say.
That's what I'm watching. And then after that, I want to watch Vice Principals. I think. Actually, no. I actually want to watch Acolyte because I've been. Kind of wanting to get back.
Not the Star Wars.
Star Wars stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Don't ever do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Why do you want to do that to yourself? We've said nothing but bad things about it.
I don't know. I've been loving Andor so much. I want to watch some Star Wars stuff.
First of all.
Whoa, wait.
If you
I know they're not even close.
Not even close is an understatement.
You haven't watched no, the one with the kids that came out.
That's the one.
No.
Bad. Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Yeah, go watch that. Do not watch The Acolyte. Do not.
Marvin, whatever you do.
My buddy told me that people were like kind of overreacting with Acolyte. I trust him.
You trust him over me?
No. Not you guys. Well, Dan, you're a little harsh.
What do you mean?
I love Star Wars and it's bad.
I'm harsh. I just sat here sucking the dick of fucking 4 things already tonight.
That's fair. I mean, you're a bit of an elitist, though. That's the thing.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
A little bit. It's true.
When it comes to Star Wars?
Nah, maybe not Star Wars.
Or in general, you mean?
Just some stuff.
Listen,
some stuff.
Were they playing Revenge of the Sith still when you went to the theater, Dan?
I think so. I didn't notice.
It made a lot of money, right? I was reading about that.
Yeah, they passed 902 million. They didn't quite hit $1 billion, but they'll do it again next year and the year after.
And the funny thing,
anniversary, they're going to pump it to $1 billion.
The funny thing is,
just get it there.
All of a sudden, people are like pretending as if the prequels weren't hated 20 years ago. I'm like, yo, I was there 20. I was in the trenches. Those movies were fucking hated until like the new trilogy came out and showed us like, oh, okay, maybe they weren't that bad to begin with. But hang on.
I told you it was funny because I was reading. So you know the Boondocks, right? The show.
Yep.
And it was a comic strip before. So I was going back and reading the comic strips from like the first one.
Yeah.
And he was drawing them as the prequel was coming out.
Mm.
And it was showing like just how much that fucking prequel was hated back then. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah.
And especially because it's like, the guy that makes Boondocks is a black dude, and then the Jar Jar Binks thing, and it was
That shit was
some
crazy.
funny shit. It's some funny shit. I love Boondocks.
Let's go back to this real quick. Hang on. So your friend, who's your friend, by the way?
Hunter.
Oh, Hunter. Okay.
The legend, caveman.
He said that the Acolyte was unfairly criticized. And then
He
you
says
said,
it wasn't as bad as people say it is.
Okay, and then your reaction was,
Not verbatim. I won't say
Dan is an
verbatim.
elitist and a hater, so I'm going to watch it.
I mean, there's some truth to both things, I think.
You shit on it too.
I did.
Listen, Marvin, you want to watch the Acolyte? I'm not going to tell you what to do, but
Listen,
Yeah,
I just got a Star Wars
listen.
boner, and then somebody's got to do something about it.
That's fair.
But you
Yeah,
can
I
watch
would,
so
I
many
would
other things.
recommend Skeleton Crew over that. But if you're going to
Yeah.
watch the Acolyte, do it and report back. I would be fascinated to see what you think.
I mean, you could watch
As soon as I like it, though, you guys are going to roast me that I have terrible taste and stuff.
if you like it, the podcast is over. But
See, there it is. It's always a fucking.
No,
it's
you-
always an ultimatum with Dan.
no, you could
Well,
like it. Listen,
He
We
said
had a
that
good
so
what
many times.
episode
now.
are we on? 128?
yeah, we're
been a good
31.
run.
131.
131.
If you like it, you like it. I ain't gonna fucking. I can't even find it on IMDb. It's so bad.
Good run, boys.
They
if you-
deleted it.
If you like it, you like it. But I'm just telling you, it's not good.
Hey, it's rated higher than Snow White.
You could watch. There's a lot. I'm just saying, if you want to scratch the Star Wars itch,
There's
you
a lot,
could watch
yeah.
a lot of other stuff. You could watch what he just said. The
Or any of the
Kid
animated
one.
stuff that you haven't seen.
You
Like,
could
go
watch-
watch the
yeah.
old animated stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Bad
That's
Batch
true.
or
Clone Wars.
Star Wars Rebels or the Clone Wars. Rebels is probably a little more fun.
Yeah. Well, my problem with my
He's got a
hesitancy
problem.
with the animated stuff is just the fact that everybody sounds different than what I'm used to.
No, they're the same voices. I think in the.
Yeah,
No.
it's Aiden Christensen. It's Hayden Christensen and what's her name is Ahsoka.
Oh, it's not.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
It's not. No, it's not her. It's not the
No,
live
it's- yeah,
action
no.
Ahsoka.
It's not her, actually, yes, because she's a younger character.
But you can watch Ahsoka. That was going to be the next thing. That's another good thing to watch. That's better than the
Yeah.
Acolyte.
Okay.
There's
Mhm.
you can watch.
So everything but Acolyte.
No, I would not. I would not recommend you watch the Obi-Wan show. That was miserable dog shit too. Although there was a couple of really cool moments in it between him
Yeah.
and Vader.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
watch the Acolyte, Marvin. Go ahead. I ain't gonna.
No,
Stop.
I got a lot of stuff to watch.
Listen, no, I would say watch it all, Marvin. When you get to it. I would say I would pick them in a different order, but if you get them in whatever order you want. But I would recommend you watch them all because everybody's opinion different. And you might like some of that stuff, and there's nothing wrong with liking it.
That's fair.
Opinions
I
vary.
agree. I agree with Dusty, despite what
subjective.
you guys may
Watch
think
it all.
about me. I agree. And also, as a fan of the stuff, you got to take the good with the bad. That's why I'm so lenient
Yeah.
on Marvel. Like, Marvel's not been the best lately, but I give them a pass because they gave us 10 years and 22 movies that were straight bangers. So they've
True.
earned a little speed bump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like Kanye.
Yeah.
He gave
Yeah,
us
like Kanye.
Graduation,
Yeah.
Dropout,
Now he's singing songs about sucking his
and
cousin's dick.
now give him some grace.
Yeah, give him a little grace.
Right.
That's it. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Watch it, Marvin.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I dare you.
No, listen, you don't want to see my list of things to watch.
Nah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the name that made Death Stranding just posted about this show he watched,
Hideo.
and I added it to my list instantly. Don't even know anything it's about.
What
anything.
show?
The Eternaut.
The Eternaut.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if Kojima posted about it, it's definitely
Kojima
a
posted
banger.
about it, and he said it was good. I was
Oh,
like,
that's
instantly. I'm
Eternaut.
obviously instantly adding that to my list.
Yeah, that's going on my list right as we speak.
I mean, like, what the fuck?
Easy,
Like I said, I want to watch the Vice Principals. I mean, it's just a bunch of random shit,
well,
but it's all good shit.
well, you
and
just-
then Alien Earth's coming out.
yeah, it's
Black
over.
Mirror just came
Yep.
back. Still got to watch
Mhm.
Paradise.
You just reminded
mm.
me of something because I can't even add this to my list. Fuck.
Damn.
Fucking pay to
Why?
win bullshit.
Ooh.
Damn.
Oh, you got too much stuff on your list?
Oh yeah.
You got paywalls just now?
Damn.
Yeah. Got to just put that in my notes.
It's gonna be lost forever.
Marvin, write that in our Discord and pin it to me. I'm being serious.
Got it.
You just reminded me because I wanted to talk about. So, I did finish the Righteous Gemstones this week. Was the finale. I don't know if you guys saw my tweet that I made from our account.
I did. Good tweet.
Yeah, I'm gonna repeat it verbatim because I want to say it on air. It ended on literally like the highest of notes. It was just such a good finale to what was an incredible series. It never had a single bad episode. It was hilarious and serious when it had to be, and it had a ton of heart, and it's a great show. And Danny McBride is a genius. So you should definitely watch all his stuff.
Yeah. Wait, you've seen Eastbound and Down, right, Marvin?
No.
Oh.
He hasn't.
I've seen a couple episodes. I have seen a couple episodes.
I was going to suggest maybe if you want to do the Danny McBride trilogy, go for Eastbound and Down first, then do Vice Principals, then do Gemstones.
That's what I was going to do eventually.
You got to start with Eastbound and Down.
I
tried to start with Eastbound and Down.
Oh, you didn't like it?
It's not that I didn't like it. I watched a couple of episodes, but I don't know. It's different. I think it was it came out before they were like filming stuff very like cinematically or something.
Yeah, it's an older style show. It's more
so it's an older style, which there's nothing wrong with that because obviously like I'm watching X-Files and that's fine, but it's different to get into it compared to the newer stuff.
It is for sure, but definitely worth it. It's an all-timer banger show.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of old stuff. Go watch News Radio when Joe Rogan first got into acting.
Oh shit.
He was doing stuff with dude from Kids in the Hall, Andy, what's his name? Phil Hartman before his wife killed him. There was all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. Folks, Dusty used to do video game news, and now he does entertainment news for us here on the podcast. He gathers news for us every week, and there's a lot to go through. But since we were just talking about shows, I'm going to start off because I saw a couple of things. Well, one thing show related, and that is one of our favorites is Silo.
Ooh, I saw this.
Silo has officially wrapped production for season 3. And in addition to
Quick, baby.
Yep. That's it. Bang them out. We want to see them to give the people what they want. In addition to that, the showrunner said that seasons 3 and 4 are going to be treated as one continuous season by the team, meaning they will continue filming even after season 3 is finished and moved into post-production. This is what the showrunner Graham Yost said about the production of the next 2 seasons of Silo. Quote, "We will be shooting all of 2025 into early 2026. Now that's how you get shit done.
Sheesh, they got the fucking whips on their backs. What's going on over there?
Yeah, so that's exciting. Hopefully that comes back sooner rather than later. All right, what do you got for us, Dusty?
Well, we were talking about Kevin Feige, the Wall Street Journal. I tweeted about this one on our account. If you guys saw that one,
I did.
They did a deep dive into this. I know Wall Street Journal's paywalled, but you can go to archive.is and look at the archive version of it. Anywho, he's been pretty much everywhere and nowhere since the end of Endgame. He talked about it a little bit. He recently told his Marvel Studios colleagues that watching every new Marvel TV show and film had started to feel more like homework than entertainment, something that we've been saying for quite some time.
Sure have, yep.
He's a big fan of the show.
It's finally, it's finally glad that they're listening to us. But it goes on to talk about how like he was being chased down in hallways by ATs, assistant twos, trying to get authorization, information, general direction for some of the projects and things, and how he would change things in movies without even talking to the director first.
Feige was doing
and
this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So he was struggling.
He was spread thin. He admitted it. He was like under Bob Iger. Around the launch of Disney Plus, he said the strategy became just expansion, and he became a yes man for a zealousness to tell more stories and a desire to be a quote excellent corporate citizen. So he was he became a yes man. He said, "Yeah, sure, expansion, Disney Plus shows. Yeah, we could do all that. We'll tell more stories. It'll be fun for everybody." And then he let the reins go basically. And now we're where we're at. And he's grabbed the reins and said, "Hold the fuck on. We got to fix this now because I broke it because I let go." So yeah, that's where we're at with Feige. I
The
guess.
first step to fixing your problem is admitting you have one. So
That's true.
this is what I said.
Recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunderbolts very much felt like a let's reset this. Cut through all the noise. Now I don't know. Some people were saying Thunderbolts is not as good as people are making it out to be, and that Marvel has just fed us such bullshit for the last couple of years that like
Anything's good.
anything's good. But
Yeah.
I don't agree. It's a
Maybe
genuinely
it's-
it's a genuinely good story. Like it's very heartfelt.
It is with the cast that is in the universe. It's very well done. Yeah.
Have you seen the Thunderbolt spoiler, Marvin? It's like all over the internet now.
Just the name change. That
Okay,
one.
yeah. So at the end of the movie, they reveal that the real title is The New Avengers.
Great comic book run.
And so the movie turns into them being the New Avengers team, propped up by what's her name from Seinfeld. Like it's not much of a spoiler. You knew this from the trailer. She was the chick. She's been head of the CIA. She's been doing secret black ops stuff, but she was running experiments called the Sentry Project to create like the perfect being, basically, to replace the Avengers. And if you know the comic book, Sentry is a very troubled person. Like he's not right.
Mhm.
And so that echoes in the movie, and she realizes like, oh, I fucked up. But by the end of the movie, when this new team steps up and saves the day, she's like, ladies and gentlemen, the New Avengers. And like, she takes credit for it.
Classic.
But they said that it was always intended to be the New Avengers. And they always wanted it to not be just considered Marvel's Suicide Squad. And that's like I think that was a good strategy because everybody thought it was going to be Marvel's Suicide Squad. So, yeah. But we'll see. Very much feels like a reset. And I think in lockstep with what Feige's saying, it's likely that that's the new approach, which is good. He also said something recently. I don't know if it was part of the same interview, but at least this is what's going on. I saw it on Twitter. Apparently the strategy going forward is quality over quantity, 1 to 2 Disney Plus installments per year. Movies will take priority, and Feige is still leading the creative overhaul of the studio. So
Nice.
see how it goes.
Yeah, more films over TV. I think that's a good direction.
Yeah, and I think 1 to 2 per year is pretty good. I think that's like a good number for shows. And
Yeah.
but here's also an important
That's
thing.
a lot. Yeah.
The shows
Give us a lot of one-offs though. Like, so
Yes.
if somebody wants to do some research, give us a one-off. It's an hour. We can do that.
The shows can no longer feel like homework.
A pilot almost. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't have to watch the show. I should say to somebody like Marvin who doesn't necessarily follow it all the way through, yo, you should check out this show because it's great. It's about this character. Not, yo, you have to check out this show before you go watch this movie. Otherwise, you're not going to know what the fuck's going on. That should never be in the conversation.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, let's see where they go with it.
Yeah, I mean, but like for the Thunderbolts, they could have done like, I mean, we kind of already know who Dave Fontaine is, but you could have done a one-off on that and said, hey, instead of watching all these shows to get one episode in an entire series where she shows up and she's an important character, and then one episode in this other series where she shows up, she's an important character, and then you don't know who this lady is, and she shows up in this movie, and you don't know she's an important character because she's been in a couple episodes of a couple shows that you may not have watched.
Yeah.
It's confusing.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah.
No, I agree with you completely, but what I think is that, at least the way the Thunderbolts felt to me, is they treated her as not like you like. I think the movie did a good job of introducing you to her on her own without knowing the other things she's appeared in. It's like, hey, here's the director of the CIA.
Yeah.
She's doing shady shit, and they're having an impeachment trial to get her off because she's shady as fuck. Boom. You don't need to know who she is beyond that. That's it. Perfect for the movie, perfect going forward. And so I think what's going to happen is a lot of the missteps that they did in this multiversal saga, they're going to start to clean up that way of just like little by little, they're just going to start to like not throw stuff away and act as if it doesn't exist, but just sort of clean it up a little bit. Like, how long did it take for them to fucking mention the literal celestial sticking out of the earth? Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean, Christina watched it with me, and she was like, I know some of these characters. Like, she remembered the person that would phase in and out of the walls.
Ghost, yeah.
But she didn't really remember Taskmaster.
Nobody did. That's why she
or
last
Red
2
Guardian.
seconds.
She was like, oh, I do remember the Black Widow movie, kind of, but not really.
Bro, he
like,
was so funny. He's great, David Harbour.
But yeah.
All
Anyhow.
right. What else you got, Dusty?
Well, WB won its legal battle against Mark Warren Perry. He was executive to the estate of Joe Shuster, who was suing to prevent the release of the movie Superman over international copyright dispute. The judge said this is basically lack of jurisdiction. We don't have any jurisdiction in other countries. The Schuster estate sued because after 25 years, copyright is supposed to come back. And I think they did an international deal in 1930 something. I don't know. No, it wasn't that far ago. Sorry, it was like 1950 something. But the deal would have, the rights would have gone back to after they died as well. It's just some weird, this is a weird international copyright case where they were trying to get some money about the movie being released internationally because of copyright issues. And they were trying to sue locally in the United States. The United States is like, well, we don't have any jurisdiction here. If you want to sue here, you're going to have to take that like to international court. And then the international court would defer to local courts, and local courts aren't going to take it. So it's just a weird situation where they're in. Yeah. So yeah, the movie is moving forward. James Gunn's Superman is going to show internationally. The lawsuit was dismissed. This is kind of what we figured would happen. This is what I kind of discussed last time we touched on this article is there's probably not a lot of places for them to go with this, and it'll be dismissed. And that's where we're at. So it looks like it's over and Superman's coming out. So
like that was ever going to not happen.
Well, I mean, it could have.
Yeah.
I don't know how you put a cease and desist or something on an international release.
We might even be getting a new trailer next week, apparently.
That'd be cool.
James Gunn said 2 things. Somebody said, when are we getting trailer 2.0? And he said, you haven't even gotten trailer 1.0 yet. You got a teaser and a sneak peek.
That makes sense.
Then somebody else asked, when are we getting it? He said, it's imminent. Or something like that. And then somebody else said, when are we getting the trailer? The movie's not too far off. And he just made one of them like fucking emojis back. So, and then there was also a rumor that it's coming out May 12th. So we'll see. Movie's literally right around the block. Like we're almost a month out.
Damn.
This summer, yeah. We're here.
July 11, baby.
We are
and here he is, Marvin, the GOAT. That's him. Imagine. Nah, it's just amazing that like the legacy of a single character has lasted this long. It's just crazy.
It really is. Yeah.
And will continue to last. Like, what's his name says that who wrote All-Star Superman again? Grant Morrison. He said that he has like this, he talks about Superman and he's like, you know, Superman's been around longer than I've been alive, and he'll be around way after I'm dead too. And like,
yep,
he'll probably always be around. It's like, that is one of the things about the characters that I love so much. Is just the fact that they have such like a lasting legacy is crazy to me.
Yeah.
Just
a few more years will be 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of wild.
Yeah. And you remember that documentary we watched? So like Dusty talks about like the Schuster estate and like these guys, like their families are still trying to like do right by them.
That's what I'm conflicted about. Like I obviously want to see the movie, but also these people got fucked over and their families still.
I mean, everybody's fighting for their share or their worth or their value. And yeah. Some of it's legitimate. Some of it's.
Are their families doing it for those reasons?
Just greed.
Or just money? that who knows? That's neither
Who
here nor
knows?
there. You would like to
is it
think
principle? Is it greed? Yeah, we
Right.
don't really know.
you would like to think it's principled, and they're still fighting for
Sure.
their grandparents to have
The rights.
their say. But yeah, all
Tough.
right, well, that's interesting. All right, what else you got?
Well, we talked about it a little bit when we talk about Aliens and we talk about Predator. You asked actually a couple weeks ago if we're going to get AVP.
Yeah, I brought this up to Marvin.
Our favorite hated guy, Jeff Snyder talked about it on the Hot Mic podcast. He was talking to his co-host John Roca. He said, I had been told that the script for Fede Alvarez's follow-up to Alien Romulus features a Predator.
Yeah, well, I actually, Marvin
yeah.
and I were talking about the trailer or the teaser to this movie, how it shows the skulls of the
It's
alien.
not a new thing. Yeah.
Well, seemingly the alien from Independence Day.
Right.
And I was like, are we going to get like this fucking like Alien versus Predator versus like whatever universe? Because they're all Disney properties, so it might just be like a like fun Easter eggs. But I do probably think they're gearing up for like another Alien versus Predator thing. Those movies, despite how good they were they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So
That was when
money.
you could put out a shitty summer blockbuster and it would still make money.
Yeah, because shitty blockbusters are fun. Remember we talked about
Yeah,
how
but they put out shitty summer blockbusters now and they lose money and they talk about how bad the movie industry is.
because there's no such thing as
put out-
blockbusters anymore. Blockbusters now
But their
are just,
shitty music, their shitty summer blockbusters are remakes of the shitty summer blockbusters.
or they're just fucking comic book movies. There's the classic blockbuster no longer exists. And in fact, when we talk about it, I would argue that Sinners could change the landscape of the movie industry, because it's not quite a blockbuster, but it's a blockbuster in spirit. Like it proves that you could make a fucking blockbuster in terms of financial success without having a pre-existing IP attached to it, or a comic book movie, or tons of fucking CGI, or any of that stuff. So, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of blockbusters,
Well,
what
Badlands,
else?
yeah. Badlands comes out November 7th, so it's coming out this fall, and then, we'll see if the follow-up is an AVP movie, but yeah.
Okay. Did you guys see that Movie Pass is coming back?
Oh,
Movie Pass?
my God, I
What
did
is
not
this?
see that, no.
Why does it sound familiar?
Movie Pass, Marvin,
This was like pay $5 a month and go to the movies as unlimited
Unlimited.
amount of times as you want.
Oh,
And they
my
started
God.
losing money on it and went bankrupt.
everybody had Movie Pass. Because it was great. If you went to the movies, if you were a movie guy,
$5
like
a month?
it was something around there. It was like $10 a month, something like that.
Okay.
And you would just be able to see unlimited movies.
Yeah,
And it was great.
because they still have some stuff, some programs like that.
Some of
but
them,
not
yeah.
that cheap
No,
for sure.
but they're coming back, except they've restructured. They're going to be a fantasy box office app. So
I
apparently,
don't even know what that means.
it's the stupidest fucking thing
I
I've
don't
ever
either.
heard. So they're structuring it like fantasy sports, but they're going to allow users to compete on box office results, per screen averages,
Oh my
sentiment
God.
score, awards, and
Just
more.
delete the app instantly. That's the dumbest fucking idea ever.
Could you imagine this shit, dude? Movie
What the
Pass is
hell,
launching
bro?
its own kind of fantasy sports league, but for film releases, box office results, and more. The company behind the subscription service is launching a fantasy gaming platform called Mogul, in which users can compete in tournaments, head-to-head matchups, and solo challenges in which they predict box office results.
You know what I find more
That's
fascinating than
insane.
this, Dan? Fantasy Supreme Court rulings, where you can decide which judge is going to decide what on which Supreme Court case. And that's boring as
Yeah,
fuck.
it's like that. It's like that website where you could bet on fucking literally everything.
Yep.
I forgot the name of that. Prop bets or something like that. I don't know if you guys have heard of that one.
I heard the name of it, but I don't remember exactly what it was. But I would like to bet on politicians and stuff like that. That'd be kind of fun.
I forgot what it was
Yeah,
called.
SCOTUS Fantasy. Join up. It's got to be more entertaining than this.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about Donald Trump's ignorant statements about the film industry and his fucking ridiculous tariffs. Marvin
100%.
Marvin touched on it earlier. Now, we try to avoid politics. I know we talk about like wokeness and all that shit, but how could you not make fun of those people? Hey, how could you not, you know? But this fucking guy is just completely lost in the sauce. Not a clue in that head or of anybody around him in his inner circle. But I just want to say, so 100% tariffs on movies made outside of the U.S., right?
Yeah, it's
Like-
a little insane, but this is something that we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where a big director was talking about how it's cheaper to take an entire fucking staff and fly them to fucking Europe and film an entire fucking TV show than it is to walk down across the street on the studio lot and film right there in fucking LA where they're at.
Well,
It's cheaper to fly them to another fucking country.
Yes.
And so like he complaining about the taxes and the cost of doing business to make a film industry in Hollywood.
Mhm.
Like I get Trump trying to make that competitive. The way that he's doing it, I think, is ridiculous, obviously. But there is some logical reasoning behind why he is, I guess, is the only point I'm trying to make in all of it.
Most productions don't. They've moved out of LA a long time ago.
Yes.
And again, we talked about it when we watched like Chinatown and stuff like that. A lot back in the day, like everything was done on a lot in LA. Like that was the Mecca. That was it. Writers worked for studios, directors worked for studios, and like that was it. But it's different today. But because
it's unaffordable.
There's nothing wrong with wanting more films made in America, like you just said. But calling foreign film production a national security threat, like he said,
dumb.
And painting it as a coordinated, like anti-American propaganda is fucking absurd. It's paranoid and completely disconnected from how the global film industry like actually works. Like you just said, yes, the United States film industry has real challenges. They're rooted in like evolving technology, global economics, shifting audience habits. Like nobody's wanting to go to theaters really as much anymore when they could just watch something at home. There's labor dynamics. We've seen with fucking strikes and low paying things and Netflix not wanting to pay out, but it's not sabotage. And then you got countries like Canada and the UK and New Zealand. They offer tax incentives, like you were just saying, to attract production companies or to attract production because it fuels their local economies, not because they're fucking plotting against the United States. Like, that's so ridiculous. U.S. studios choose to shoot abroad for budget control, and they have favorable exchange rates and unique locations. That's fucking business. That's not like a betrayal to America. That's crazy talk. Okay? So calling this a national security threat it's like misleading and laughable. It's so stupid. But his legions of morons will believe it.
The irony is that all these companies left where they're at because of the tax problems, and Trump's solution is to tax so much in these other areas that they'll come back to the high tax problem they ran away from in the fucking first place.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. Hollywood remains one of the most powerful like cultural export machines in the world. Even when filming overseas, the money often flows back to the United States through financing and talent and post-production and marketing. And so if you really want to bring jobs back to America, the answer is smarter investment. Like you just said, strengthen tax incentives, protect unions, fund creative education, evolve with the industry. There's nothing wrong with championing for, films to be made in the US, but isolationism, like it's the fucking 1930s and 40s all over again, is not the answer.
Right.
I love foreign films.
Yeah, who doesn't? We just watched one of the greatest movies ever made, which is a Korean movie. Like,
yeah,
foreign films are some of the greatest movies ever made. It's so nonsensical, like white man shit. It's so stupid. God. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
The mouse will get an exemption, though. Don't you worry. They will. They just moved to London, actually. Disney and Amazon both moved to London like last year. So
I believe it.
The mouse will get an exemption to come back.
Well, we've got Brandon Sklenar on Drop, and it ends with us and his potentially bright future in film. Now, it's funny because we've talked about a little bit the lawsuit going on between Ryan Reynolds and Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively and the It Ends With Us thing. And I have not seen the movie, but he's an actor in it. He plays a love interest of her at a young age, I believe.
Was he part of the beef, this guy?
No, he actually. This is before the movie comes out, so this interview is dated.
I see,
but it's interesting because it's poignant to the point. He gives ravish reviews of both people. He talks about how he turned this project down like 6 or 7 times. And they said, just Zoom with Justin Baldoni, just talk to him. And he said, I talked to him and he told me about his story and how this helped so many women and what the story's about. And it was really important to me because I know somebody in my life personally that went through this. And so I was immediately on board. And then they were like, how was it working under Lively? And he's all, oh, she's amazing. Like, so he gave both of them glowing reviews and they fucking hate each other and they sue each other. So it's just funny.
Interesting.
But yeah, he goes on to talk about Drop, which hadn't come out yet. He had said he had just got done filming it, I think, at about this time. And he said it's very reminiscent of Rear Window or an Agatha Christie whodunit, and it turned out better than any of us could have imagined. But he's been in 1923. He's probably one of my favorite Duttons. He's Spencer Dutton. He plays Harrison Ford's nephew. He's also in It Ends With Us. And like I said, Green and Gold, he's in that one, which is a really good little small movie. But him talking about his career, he said, I'm just excited to work with great directors and great actors and just continue to learn and grow. I'd like to direct at some point in the next 5 years. I'm kind of just trying to learn the little kid in me. I would love to do a proper Western, a proper straight Western, which hasn't been done in a little while. But yeah, that'd be a dream of his. So yeah.
Okay.
He said he touched it a bit in 1923, but yeah, he.
What is a straight
Brandon
Western?
Sklenar. I don't know. I think the
like
last straight Western, 310, the remake 310 to Yuma would have been, but that was a long time. That's even that. But yeah, I don't know.
A fucking straight
Not
Western.
too many good ones.
That's so funny. All right. Well, thanks for the news, Dusty. As always, great reporting. What would we do without you? I don't mean that facetiously. Let's get into today's review. We're talking about the movie Drop that just recently came out. So, again, I started the show by saying it's not often that you, get hyped for something in 2025 or these days and it ends up being good, but it's equally or less as often that you just take a random shot on a thing and it surprises you. Whether the surprise is good or bad, who's to say? Let's find out what we all thought of this movie. I saw the trailer for this in the theaters like months and months ago. I can't even remember what I was going to see. And I was like, oh, this looks kind of interesting. Totally forgot it existed. We had a shortage of things to watch this month. We were struggling a little bit. We didn't know if we wanted to review Sinners today, but we didn't know if we were all able to get out to the theaters to see it. And so when I made the schedule, I saw this. I was like, oh, I remember this movie. Let's fucking watch this and check it out. And so that's Drop. It actually turns out it's directed by Christopher Landon. Dusty, we have a little history with some of his movies. You and I watched Freaky together.
Freaky, yeah.
And really liked it. He also did the Happy Death Day movies, which I really like.
Yep.
I think I saw those.
Yeah, they're fun. They're fun, like slasher movies. Like they're kind of horror comedies. And he did a movie recently called Heart Eyes. He wrote that, which I didn't care about, but now I want to see it. Just to see what he's got cooking on that one.
Yeah.
And this is about a widowed mother. She goes on her first date in years, and the date takes a terrifying turn when she's bombarded with anonymous threatening messages on her phone during their upscale dinner. And it kind of has her questioning, like, who done it? Dun, dun, dun. And it's not just any messages. It's those airdrop messages that you get on your iPhone, which is the craziest invention of all time. And when I say crazy, I don't mean like cool technology. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It's like so redundant. If I could send you a message, why do I have to it's messaging. It's like, what is I don't understand why it exists. So right off the bat, I think this is an awesome premise for a movie, a thriller in like modern times with modern technology of like you're receiving anonymous messages. Because the one unique thing of an airdrop is you don't have to have the person as a contact in your phone.
Right. Yeah.
Just nearby devices.
Yeah.
That's why it's not necessarily redundant. It's a little
Correct.
extra.
And there's also some funny TikToks I've seen from time to time where people will be in a park and they'll just like airdrop random people some weird shit, and it makes for kind of like a funny video. So really cool premise. Yeah, let's dive into it. Marvin, what'd you think?
You say really cool premise. I actually think it was like a decent premise. I don't think it was that special.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it has some good moments. Overall, it felt pretty boring to me.
Really?
To be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't get too much out of this. Figured out the guy that was doing it as soon as his date stormed off, essentially.
Really?
Yeah. The actors for sure carried this movie. Like the actors were great, but yeah, I didn't get much out of this.
Okay. Marvin hated it.
Kind of mid for me. I didn't hate it. It was a decent watch, but
What'd you think,
that's about
Dusty?
it.
Well, I watched the trailer to this and immediately thought, this is a stupid movie I don't want to watch because I think I could probably pick out everything that's going to happen in it. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, okay. Well, they didn't do everything that you would think that they would do in this movie.
That's what I thought.
And
That's
in
fair.
that way, it was a little bit refreshing, even though I think I'm with Marvin, and I don't think the premise is that original. I agree with also Dan in that the premise of the technology is kind of unique, but the whole you need to do what we tell you to do, or the person you love dies and nobody can know, and we're watching everything you do.
It was so
That's
cliche.
not unique.
Yeah.
That is very cliche. Was it done terrifically? No. Was it done terribly? No. It was done all right. And it was unique enough that my hatred for this movie, after not seeing it at all and then watching it, like withered away. I thought, okay, this is not as bad as I thought it was going to be. This is actually, it's all right. But there was still a little bit to like, I don't know, a woman whose child is in danger on a date with a random person. The casualness of it is not, she would have lost her shit 100%.
This is
she would have
definitely
had a panic attack.
Yeah, this is definitely
lost her shit.
This movie does not hold up to Dusty logic standards for sure.
Scrutiny.
No, I have like several Dusty gripes with this movie. Maybe we should just start having a Dusty gripe segment when we do movies, because there's a lot for me for this. Yeah.
So you guys kind of are focused on I guess, like the plot of it. Which, yeah, totally fair. It's not like groundbreaking or anything like that. I thought I didn't think like that stuff of like your fucking son is going to get it if you don't do what we say right now. That stuff is like, yeah, done to death. I thought like the actual technology of it was like kind of a fresh, unique spin of like the airdrop thing.
I agree with that.
Because the airdropping creates a unique mystery aspect in modern day. It's like the call's coming from inside the house. Like that's done, that's over with. And we've talked about often with horror movies how like Halloween, for instance, or Black Christmas, like those movies don't work in the modern day because of technology. Like you have your fucking cell phone. It's like, I'm just going to fucking call the police from like any room in my house. Yeah. So it takes like a lot of creativity, I think, to sort of create thrills in a modern setting for that specific reason. I think this movie did it really well, especially with the way the airdrop worked in this, where you could like see people pop in and out of like the range and stuff.
Range, yeah, that was good. That was good.
Kind of created like a shark from Jaws effect, where it's like, oh fuck, he's in range of me. Like, who is it now? And it like helps you narrow it down. So like, it is a little bit like a modern Agatha Christie whodunit, or like even kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It just kind of felt like it just had those vibes to it. Is it the greatest like movie ever made? No, absolutely not. But I think it was strong enough in those regards that really surprised me. But the big thing, I'm surprised you guys didn't mention, maybe I read too much into it, but I think really like those things were like the plot, the story of the movie is really where I bought in heavy, which was this woman who was the survivor of like domestic abuse, and just like, this is gonna sound woke as fuck, but the bravery that it takes to put yourself back out there with a stranger.
Sure.
And I thought the movie did that really well, because on one hand, like it takes like a thing that we could all relate to, which is like going on a first date, meeting somebody new, and you're already nervous and you don't know how to behave, and it's just like a weird, awkward thing.
Mm-hmm.
But with the added anxiety of like, oh, I'm a survivor of this like really horrible experience, and my son almost died, and like all this stuff. And I watched my ex like kill himself in front of my face, and I almost had to pull the trigger, but couldn't do it, even though my son was in danger. Like, it makes you question yourself, and it's all this trauma. So to like put yourself out there under the weight of all that is crazy. And so to take that and then put it into this like, you know, fun thriller scenario. So now there's like the added pressure of that on top of what she's already feeling. I don't know. I just thought they did it really well. It's like, kind of like turned it on its head a little bit of like, oh fuck, like she can't even have the normal anxiety because she's fucking dealing with this fucking dude or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of where I ended up really enjoying it, because I just thought they told that story well. And then they really, like you mentioned the actors, I thought they did an awesome job together.
Great chemistry. Yeah.
They felt really real. Sometimes I thought the dialogue was a little bit cheesy, but then thinking back, I was like, no, it's not cheesy. It's just like actually like the way real people talk, I thought. They did a good job with that. It was just some of the stuff with her and her sister I thought was like a little.
Yeah, it was a little corny for sure.
A little corny, but whatever. But between them, where it mattered was great. Thought the bartender was great. Like she was like real.
Yeah.
The waiter on his first day, like kind of being like overly bubbly to hide the fact that he was like nervous for his first shift. Like that felt,
it was him.
Yeah, that felt really real.
Yeah, the air of mystery about who was actually who. You do get the Agatha Christie whoddunit feel.
Yeah,
about because you touch each character and you're like, I mean, you're kind of feeling the whole time that it's Brandon Sklenar's character, like he's the mastermind behind all of this because
too nice. Yeah, he's too nice.
Yeah. And then, that's the twist of the whole movie is that it's not him. He's actually a nice fucking guy, and he's trying to fucking turn on these dirty politicians.
And that's a great twist.
But yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's going to sound fucking woke, but it's a great twist because, I hate to keep having to bring up the GOAT, but it's like a great Superman thing of like niceness is in such a rare thing that like, when you see somebody who's fucking nice, you're like, oh, he's too fucking nice. I don't trust his ass. That sucks that we're like trained to think that way. Don't you know what I mean? So when somebody like is actually nice and it's a twist of the movie that he is actually a nice dude, I don't know. I thought that was really, really well thought out and well done.
No, that's why I like the movie better than I thought I would based on the trailer and watching the movie.
Yeah. So the whodunit stuff, I actually thought they did that pretty effectively too. Marvin, you said you figured it out like pretty quickly. I actually didn't. Surprisingly,
I wouldn't say quickly. I don't remember exactly when it. I mean, I remember the moment. I just don't remember how far it was in. Basically, when the old creepy guy's date left him, I was like, "Oh, okay, it's him."
But what made you think it was him when she stormed off? Because I didn't catch it. I didn't think it was him. He was a suspect, just to be clear. I was like, "Oh, it could be him."
He was always a suspect.
Yeah,
and then.
The weird hug put him on my radar. And
the weird hug, when I thought about the blind date, like the scenario was too weird.
Yep.
And they wouldn't say that if it wasn't, they wouldn't tell you about this guy if he wasn't important.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's why I was like, okay, it's obviously him. Yeah.
I actually thought they did a good job because normally we've joked about it before, like in shows when you're like, oh, this fucking actor's in it. Like he's the bad guy, obviously. Like there's no other reason to cast him.
Yeah, right.
Like what was it? What's his name in Beverly Hills Cop 4? Like Kevin Bacon. We're like, oh yeah, he's obviously the villain because. So, but I thought this movie did a good job of like, it framed everyone well as a possible suspect. I agree,
especially the random guy that kept texting.
Yep,
that was a good one.
I was real sus about him.
Dude waiting for his sister and
Yeah. And you know what? It actually did it so well that like at first I thought it was him, and then I was like, nah, it's too obvious. It can't be him. And then I was like, maybe it is actually him. Like I kept going back.
They did do that very well. Yeah.
I didn't ever think it was her date, though. That's the one weak point of the movie, I think, for me, is that I never thought it was him. I
did up until they asked her to crush his SD card. I was like, it's possible that it's him.
Yeah.
It crossed my mind, but for one, how was he sending her airdrops, not touching his phone? He could have just been the mastermind.
If he's in cahoots with someone,
he's the mastermind.
He's just like the face.
It could have been like like a jigsaw fucking laying dead in the bathroom, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Totally. But I think they sold that a little too quickly with the SD card and stuff and made it what it was really about.
Yeah.
So it turns out that he is like you said, he's an informant. He works for the mayor as a photographer, but he's been like.
He's a rat.
He's a rat, yeah. He's taken all sorts of secrets and he's going to turn them over to whoever authority. And the real plot in question was some fucking, I don't know, CIA shadow organization guy.
And the cleaner. The
cleaner is trying to set her up to kill him so he can't turn over his evidence.
Yeah.
And now, realistically, Dusty Gripes, let's talk about him.
Yeah.
It's like the most elaborate fucking scheme ever conceived by man to like cover something up. So this dude had to put fucking cameras and mics all over the restaurant,
everywhere,
like
set up perfectly.
When are you setting this up? Like,
especially in a fine dining where, like, after watching The Bear, you know that like,
right,
these things probably wouldn't go unnoticed with how like particular they are with like setting up the table and all this sort of thing. That actually wasn't my gripe though, as far as the setup. Like having to do all the setup. It was a couple of things though. Why did she tell the fucking Black Ops guy that she poisoned him so that he could be like, oh, fuck you, I'm gonna shoot? That was dumb.
Oh yeah.
That was just like the setup effect where like something doesn't happen until you actually tell them like that he wasn't poisoned until he actually told her and then he started dying.
Well, that was her empowering moment of like the power. She like, it was that the fact that like she dealt with this traumatic thing, but she took something out of it, and that was a strength that she hadn't had prior, right?
Yeah.
It's like I hid it from him, and just like I'm hiding this from you, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I got it. I get it. It was just we were talking Dusty Gripes. That's what I'm saying.
No, for sure.
Another thing, there's no way this guy stays this long in real life with this chick acting this way.
No one's that
I would have
nice.
got out of there the first red flag. Like, oh, you're crying at the fucking table? I'm fucking leaving. I'm out of here. It's over.
Yeah.
And my last one, you got to say something about that?
No, go ahead.
My last one, why was the restaurant like in a plane? And I'll explain this. When the glass cracked and the fucking guy gets sucked out of the window like it's a fucking pressurized cabin.
I don't know the science behind that. I didn't even really think about it. I was just like, well, I guess if you're that high up, there's like some sort of pressure differential that's going to suck you out at first.
Okay, maybe. Okay, that's fair. I don't know either. I don't know the science.
It's
so
probably
possible.
just the initial like depressurization, because you are pretty high up. I mean, there is lower pressure up there, so
that's fair. Okay, maybe that's it. Okay.
Yeah, I thought that whole ending part was a little bit unneeded, like the restaurant fight. I think it was enough that she had to like race home and like try to stop the hitman assassin from like taking out her sister and son.
Yeah, which is like you're never gonna call the police and during all this moment. Like,
well, he
the guy's
did when
dead
she left.
And you still. That's okay. That's fair.
He said he gave her the address and was like,
the guy that got fucking shot is the one that's tasked with calling. That's good.
She ended up being actually the worst date of all time, but it wasn't her fault, really. It was him. But yeah, back to like the planning too. It's like all the forethought of like he has to like pre-plan her like every move to like the bathroom stall.
He said he was playing chess. He wasn't lying. He was playing fucking. He was grandmaster level.
Oh
he's like Dr. Lupo fucking with the chess.
Fucking cheat. I meant to talk to you about that. That shit is so ridiculous. We gotta talk about that later.
Yeah, we do gotta talk about that. It was insane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much the movie. Like, I thought it did a really good job of being a thriller. Like, I felt pretty thrilled the whole time.
It was a good thriller. I agree. Yeah.
Like, I really was. Like, it kept you guessing. It kept you thinking and rethinking. Like, I say all the time, I talk myself up about movies like this. I'm usually pretty good at, like, figuring shit out, like, very quickly. I didn't with this one. for some reason. I don't know. I think it did a good job of, maybe because I really wasn't like, I think their chemistry was so good that I was more involved and concentrating on them two than like the craziness that was going on.
Yeah. I don't know if I got a problem with thrillers or not, or if it's just how thrillers function in general, which is like, even with all this and like given the backstory of her life and that, I didn't really care about this chick that much. And I don't know if that's just a fault of thrillers in general or just this movie, but I'm just trying to think of other thrillers and if it's the same thing where like, do you actually start to care about the people that they're showing?
And
like,
if they're done right.
If they're done right, I guess so, yeah.
I don't know that I cared about her specifically as a character, but I care more about what she represented.
I do care about what she represented too. I'm just saying, but you would think like,
I think that's
you would
the thing.
care, you would feel some way like, oh man, I hope she really makes it, like.
Yeah. No, but overall, I thought it was, I really enjoyed it. I was surprised at how good I was surprised at how well I liked it. I thought, like I said, the acting was great. The writing was a little bit, weak at times, but I think they pulled it off. The thriller aspect worked for me. The whodunit aspect worked for me. I liked the different like ways she tried to like get out of it, like writing the note on the 20 to get the fucking pianist killed and
severance shit going on.
Yeah. So I thought it was an effective movie. I quite enjoyed it.
I do think the whodunit piece was the strongest too.
Yeah. Any final thoughts for you guys? That's pretty much all I got to say about it.
Final thoughts?
Not really. It was a good movie. It was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And that's something saying. And I looked at the director after the fact and I was like, oh, he did Freakia. That makes sense. Because going into it, I was like, I don't know. I went into this not knowing much and watching the trailer thinking I was going to hate it and came out a little pleasantly surprised. Right. Even though there was enough to gripe about, it was good enough to be somewhat enjoyable. Not great, but not terrible.
He also directed We Have a Ghost, which was that movie I said I liked last year.
Oh, the comedy, right?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yeah.
I guess my final thoughts is actually a comment I saw, which was, how did he get the $20 in the food?
Oh, yeah, that's pretty funny.
This guy is like the supreme ninja
overlord.
mastermind. It's insane.
Right. This is a weird one. It's pretty well received on Rotten Tomatoes, but not on IMDb. It's got a 6.2 on IMDb, which I actually think is real low. So I'm going to bump it up. I got to give it a 7. It's a 7 for me.
It's probably a 6.
Okay.
Right there. That's mid territory. That's what I feel mostly about this.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7 for what it is. It can get a little bump.
Okay.
Sure.
Well, there you have it, folks. There's our thoughts on Drop. If you've watched it, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought. We'd be very curious to hear your take on it. If you have not watched it, this is one I would recommend. I think it was a fun watch, worth it.
Yeah, so definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, go and check it out. It's available on streaming now. Next week, folks, we're going to be back with our Make Marvin Watch for this month, this is Dusty's pick. He's watching Young Guns.
Yep.
Fresh off the announcement that Emilio Estevez made that a Young Guns 3 is in the works. So that should be a good one. It's a classic. Marvin said it sounded like a gay porn movie. So check that out. If you have not done so, consider subscribing. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, leave a rating on the show and follow the show. It helps us out significantly. Leave a like, do all that great shit. And we will catch you next week. Thank you for hanging out with us. We will catch you then.
See ya.